Hey guys, Marshall Kirby from Orchard Hill Farm Equipment today. We have a CK3510SE Cab model with a KB2475L backhoe on the back. This is a full frame backhoe. This cab has heat and AC, 35 horsepower. This unit is also available in 40 horsepower as well. It's a very popular seller, especially with the backhoe setup at our dealership. We sell this tractor a lot of times to homesteaders with, say, 30 acres or less, and a lot of times, very commonly, to landscaping companies, because of course you can be in the heat and AC, and tractor's got plenty of weight behind it, so you're not tippy as much as a lighter tractor would be, but at the same time, you're not too heavy to go across lawns and stuff and start ripping it up. It's got a pretty good sized backhoe on the back there, with a 12-inch bucket that we see today, but they give you the choice of a 12, a 16, or an 18-inch bucket most of the time at most Kioti dealers. So we're going to take a look at what this tractor's got for features, and maybe this tractor will work out for one of you guys that's watching this video. So as we come over here, you got a 66-inch bucket on the front here. This bucket is pre-drilled in the front face on the lip for an added cutting edge feature in case you want to add a cutting edge later on or at the time of purchase. It'll just save your bucket for the long run. So that's nice, pre-drilled. Not every company out there does that. The next thing is obviously Bobcat skid steer style quick attach and back of the bucket system here. So basically two pull levers, one and one here, undo them and your bucket's coming off. This is the same design that most tractor companies are using right now. And of course, it's the same as like a Bobcat skid steer would have, or something like of that nature. You could hook your buddy's Bobcat skid steer pallet porch right on the front of this attached setup here and be in business. So that's pretty sweet. All inner tube grease fittings on this loader. This is the KL4030 loader. It is going to lift at full height with no backhoe countered in, no counterballast, around a little over 1,800 pounds at full height at the pivot pins. So it's got a pretty good lift capacity. Definitely when we look at some of the competitors out there, this is pretty much on top. The other part of that lift capacity being so high is because it's got a good weight in it, and we also see that it has a high hydraulic capacity. This tractor offers 11.7 gallons per minute flow rate on the full tractor from the factory. That's very high for a 35 horsepower compact tractor. So pretty much this loader will lift everything and anything. The main thing that's going to happen is just once you get to that maximum load, your back end is going to start to come up off the ground, unless you have some counterballast back there to help you out with that. And then you'll of course lift more. Breakout force down by the ground is way higher than the 1,800 pounds though. So of course lower to the ground, you're going to lift a lot more than that. Grill guard right here, which is foldable out of the way, easy to get to everything at the engine. We're going to do that in a minute, go through the engine, but first we'll talk about the tires here and such. So this tractor today, we're looking at industrial R4 tires. This is about 95% of our dealership sales on this model, or any tractor in this size per se. They do offer agricultural tires from the factory or turf tires at the same price basically. So, but this tends to be the happy medium, doesn't rip up your lawn too bad at all, gives you the most traction, most power to the ground, and at the same time it's good in the snow and such, so, and especially in the mud when you do actually need those little grooves they got there. The next thing is the front axle. It's a very big, hefty front axle, and what we see on this tractor to compare with some of the competitors out there is we have a hydraulic piston steering. The steering is insanely smooth. When we start this tractor up, it's got its own hydraulic pressures going to that cylinder in front. So you can literally steer the steering wheel with your own finger. You don't even need a full hand to spin that steering wheel. It's very smooth. And the next thing is tucked away, very close to the front axle. A lot of competitors have a tie rod linkage that does a V in the front here and goes literally to right where the grill guard should be on the tractor. And that is probably one of the most common parts sold on some of the other model tractors out there for other competitor sizes in this tractor size. The loader comes off. I did a video on that, so you guys can check that out on this exact loader. Pulling the pin here, pulling the pin on the other side, dropping the kickstands down right here on both sides, leave your bucket on, disconnect your 4 hydraulics over there, and then you use your loader joystick to go down to the ground before you disconnect your hydraulics, and it will lift itself out of the frame. You shut it off, disconnect your hydraulics, and back away. So very easy to take the loader off, and we see the KB2475L backhoe on the back. I also did a video on that if you guys want to check that out, how to take the backhoe off this unit. As we can see on the cab here, side mirrors on both sides, some cab vents to clean filters wise here, 2 cab lights on the front, cab marker lights, as well as your headlights on the hood. So pretty good lighting on this tractor, whether it's during the nighttime or during the day. Rear cab lights. The next thing we'll talk about is rear heated window standard. Nice for the winter time, especially if you got a rear snowblower on the back here. You always want to keep that window clean and not fogged up. Rear wiper standard. That's a nice feature. Not every manufacturer will do that, as well as a front wiper there. Telescopic 3-point hitch arms right here. So as you can see, these guys are a standard feature on this tractor. Most companies do not do this. This feature is usually about a $400 or $500 option on most manufacturers' tractors. Right here we also have telescopic side links for your 3-point hitch arms. Very easy to adjust for any attachment you pop on this tractor. Backhoe design on this tractor allows you to keep your 3-point hitch arms right here on the machine. So what that's getting you is basically the point that your frame mount goes underneath the tractor. To take it off, you have 2 pull pins right here, 1 pin and another pin down here. To do that, you're going to set your outriggers down, set your bucket down, pull your 2 pins. Then you would disconnect your hydraulic lines right here and basically drive forward, and this thing will hold itself up and the frame will come released right off the backhoe. Again, I did a video on that, so check that out if you have time. Fuel tank's right back here, gives you a little extra ballast, and at the same time, you fill it up, you're not spilling it all over your hood, so that's a nice feature. As I talked about the rear remotes here, these backhoes are plumbed in with actual universal remotes where we have 2 joysticks inside the cab to operate those remotes. One is a standard detent and one is a spring-loaded function. So one remote's here, and then we've got a blue set over here. I'll show you those joysticks in the cab in a few minutes here and what those are going to bring for value in this tractor. Your seat right here folds away, top link. Your seat can be adjusted with bolt holes in the bottom to adjust your area there. Backhoe joysticks you can loosen the lock nuts to change the angle of these guys right here, of the controls. We have a locking pin, so if you're using this tractor for transportation or just not using the backhoe, you'll pop that pin through right there to lock it in place. Grease fittings all the way around on every piston point on this backhoe. This backhoe has stoppers on both sides, gives you over 180 degrees distance where you want to operate this backhoe. The backhoe also has a lockable boom right here. So we've got a lever right here which you can pull from your seat, and lockable side pieces on each side. So that's nice. Like we mentioned before, we got a 12-inch bucket on here today, but they feature a 16 and an 18-inch as well, and they even go up all the way up to 24 and 36 inches. Obviously, you're not going to dig anything and have many pressures with that. That'd be for light material. On the back here again, we have a toolbox standard, a black little plastic toolbox. I know it's not adding much value to the tractor, but nice to have somewhere to put your tools, right sitting on the back of the tractor in a good spot hidden away. We already talked about the telescopic stuff and some of that features. You do have a drawbar standard on this tractor. One of my favorite features on this tractor by far is the 3-point hitch lift and lower mechanism right here. This only operates if the tractor's on and has hydraulic pressure running to these 3-point hitch arms. But for hooking up attachments when you take off your backhoe, this is night and day. A really, really nice feature. You can lift and lower these arms right from the back here. You don't even have to be inside that cab tractor. So that makes hooking up attachments a hell of a lot easier when you can do it all from back here and never get back in your cab. As we come around over here, again, we have side mirrors. I'm gonna hop in there and you guys can kind of come in here and check out what we got inside the cab. So loader joystick right here. This is your loader joystick right by your side. The seat also offers dual armrest standard. Nice feature, really, really nice feature. Goes a long way after you operate this machine for 5 hours at a time. Your forward and reverse pedals are right here. Side-by-side pedals, not your traditional rocker style, which is a huge, nice feature. Some hydrostatic transmissions and some manufacturers will have a heel and toe operation rocker pedal. This gives you more foot room, and you're never really feeling awkward in this tractor operating it. It's very easy to do that. No clutch on this tractor to turn on and off your PTO. It's just an electronic on and off. Nice feature there. You never have to worry about that PTO clutch or anything like that. You also have automatic and manual PTO, meaning that if we have this PTO on and you turn on auto PTO, every time you use this lever right here to lift and lower your 3-point hitch arms, say your brush hog on the back, it will automatically disengage the PTO for you, so you don't have to remember every time. Or you could go to the traditional manual PTO, where you got to turn it on and off manually. Cab lights, windshield wipers here. Throttle right here. There's a little mechanism on this tractor which is over here. You can't really see it from there, but I'll just describe it for a minute, and we did a video on this as well. It's called a linked pedal kit. That is an auto throttle mechanism that links the linkage from the forward and reverse pedal on a hydrostatic to the throttle. So if your link pedal is on and engaged, what happens is we press down forward, and the further we press forward, the further it throttles up. We let off of our pedal and it comes back to you and throttles down. And it does the same operation in reverse. So that's a huge feature for, again, landscaper guys that are going in and out of piles of dirt and stuff like that to move lube around, or grading and stuff. It's really, really a big help on a tractor like this, because traditionally you set your RPMs and that's it. Nothing throttles up and down for you unless you do it mechanically. And you can turn that feature on and off if you don't want that on. This tractor also has cruise control in the hydrostatic to lock down your pedals as you're driving, which is a huge feature. 3-range transmission. You got a low, a medium, and a high range transmission on here over here. And as we talked about before, just like we were saying, these are your 2 rear remote control valves. One is a spring-loaded. This would operate, say, a grapple or a hydraulic thumb on the backhoe, or a snowplow to the front if you ran lines. And this is your backhoe flow, just staying in position to where you want to operate it. Great for running a log splitter, hydraulic snow blowers, all that type of stuff. Good stuff on the back here. Tilt steering wheel, another nice feature on this tractor. The other thing is this is an L series frame if we were to compare to a Kubota. And a lot of times an L series frame tractor has an extremely large hump inside the operator station, especially on anything that's open station. Normally we have a hump that is, say, maybe 8 or 10 inches tall. On this tractor we have something about 4 or 5 inches tall, and that's about it. Which makes for a very open, easy access to move around your feet area, makes this tractor very comfortable. You have a loader lock right here to lock this loader in the air so nobody can mess around with it. That allows, in case you were hoisting an engine in the air and somebody touched this, that allows them to not have any control over the hydraulics, even when the tractor's on or off. Seat forward and reverse, got some controls there. Your seat is also hydraulic cushioned, so you can adjust that for the weight of the person. And your seat also has a little bit of a height adjustment down here. Differential lock and mechanical four-wheel drive in and out over here. And your flow control valve for how fast or slow your 3-point hitch attachment lifts and lowers on this tractor. Let's see what else we got going on here. This cab is, again, heat and AC, already pre-wired for a radio in case you add one in. They do have a factory radio, and that's definitely a nice feature. That way, if you get it without a radio, you can add one in very simply down the road at any point in time you want to. We'll open up the hood real quick, and that'll be pretty much it for this machine today. So that's how you get your grill guard down. Then you pop open your hood here. You'll see all your AC unit and your hydraulic coolers and radiator and all that stuff right here. And it's got quite a bit of screens in back here to clean out, in back of these in back of the coolers. It's got a bunch of screens, so that's nice, easy to clean out. Air filter right here, right at the front. Battery right under there. We run interstate batteries in our tractors here. The side over here, gonna have all your servicing stuff. Dipstick right here, easy access. Engine oil filter, front axle fill, fuel filter, engine oil fill. Everything's within a 2-foot radius on this tractor for pretty much servicing wise. Makes for an easy service. So easy that obviously you don't even need to bring it back to the dealer, and if you have a little bit of knowledge of just general maintenance of changing filters and oils, you can certainly do it yourself in this tractor. Very simple, easy, hands-on. So that's about it today. We also have a front wiper I mentioned there as the back one and the front one standard. So this is our CK3510SE tractor. They got a great 0% for 72 months financing going on currently on this model. We sell a lot of these at 0% financing. They do also offer a cash in lieu discount if you opt for cash or standard rate financing. They'll give you an additional rebate, sometimes of $2,000 or $3,000, give or take, depending on the time, on this full unit we see here. So that's a nice thing, and they give you a couple different choices when buying out a tractor. But again, I'm Marshall Kirby from Orchard Hill Farm Equipment. Behind me, we're looking at the CK3510SE Cab tractor. SE is basically your special equipped or special edition tractor with all the features that we just went over. Very nice factory cab with a backhoe, full frame. Again, guys, Marshall Kirby from Orchard Hill Farm Equipment. If we can help you out on a tractor like this, any other Kioti products, give us a call at 413-253-5456 or visit us on our website at www.orchardhillsales.com.